Sarah Riley, NMLS 18007, and Patricia Johnson, NMLS 583004. Caliber Home Loans Incorporated, NMLS ID number 15622. Copyright 2017, all rights reserved. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without prior notice. All products are subject to credit and property approval. Not all products are available in all states for all dollar amounts. Other restrictions and limitations apply.
Welcome to Financial Fitness Northwest, coming at you live on 1150 KKNW. I'm your host, Sarah Riley.
And I'm your co-host, Patricia Johnson. We're the Riley Johnson team.
Woohoo! All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in this afternoon. It's our goal to help you navigate the mortgage and real estate market with expert advice from knowledgeable and trustworthy industry professionals. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned investor, we can help.
We strongly believe in giving back and empowering our community, and it's our hope to provide our listeners with local charities and businesses to bring solutions to your daily life and provide you with opportunities to give back to your community as well.
Well, welcome. So I don't know what's going on in your all's week this week, but there's big things going down in the Riley house.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
Reagan's birthday.
I know. The middle child.
She's turning 5. Well, she turned 5 on Monday. And she woke up in the morning. I put this hilarious little video of her. Did you see it?
It was so awesome. It was so cute. It was pictures of her and then quotes. Reaganisms.
Yes. Oh, my word. She is hilarious. She should have her own radio show.
She should.
She could, because she never, ever stops talking, ever. And so I put all these quotes on there, and people, Dad called me, and he was asking me, saying the video was really cute, and then he's asking me about the quotes, and he's like, "Did she really say those?" I go, "Yeah." She that comes out of her little 5-year-old brain. She woke up in the morning and she was like, "So was I actually born today? Like, I'm actually 5?" And I said, "Yeah, this is your real birthday. You're born today." She goes, "I don't feel 5. I feel like I'm 4." And I was like, "Well, why? Why do you feel 4?" She goes, "I don't know. Look at my hand. Does it look bigger?" And I was like, "Yeah, it looks bigger to me." She goes, "Nope, my pinky looks like it's the same size."
She's so funny.
She is hilarious.
Her little take on life and the world is so funny, and herself, because she is fabulous.
Yes.
She also says that she never gets embarrassed. She absolutely doesn't. She loves people to look at her because she is fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you want your daughter to have confidence.
You do.
She does not short on confidence.
I know. It's so cute. And you just think, please just hang on to that, because as you grow and the world starts, poking at you, and then, we get damaged as we get older. So it's very refreshing. So
I don't
she's
think
just
she'll ever let anything get her down.
I don't know. She's
pretty
a
resilient.
she's a very bright light.
Yeah. She told me that she goes, the kind of person I am. I'm a crazy, fancy, talking kind of girl.
She is fancy.
She is. Dylan, my youngest, came downstairs this morning, and she had a necklace on. She's into putting on. She's 19 months old, and she likes to put on a necklace after she gets dressed. She's very particular about what she wears at 19 months old. So, whoa, we're in for something there.
Yeah.
So she comes downstairs in a necklace, and Reagan was like, wait a minute. I'm the fancy one in this family, so I don't think she should be wearing a necklace. Yeah. I'm like, well, we can all be a little fancy, can't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's got Sporty Peyton is Sporty Girl, and
is.
Fancy Girl Reagan, and Dylan is just going to be
whatever she's going to be. It's up in the air.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. She hasn't told us. She can't tell us. All she can tell us is she wants gummies.
Yeah.
So
and Alexa.
And she talks to Alexa. Yeah, that too. So what's going on with you this week? What do you got going on?
Not much. Just
yard work?
Busy. The sun's out. Got to finish spreading those bags of bark that are out in the yard.
Guns out?
Yeah.
You're going to have your guns
out.
out?
Oh, I might.
Shoveling some bark? Are we going for a run? We went for a run last Saturday.
We did. Yeah. We should do another run and maybe a hike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I have this great idea. It hasn't come to fruition yet, but stay tuned, because I have this great idea that so Patricia and I went for a hike on Friday morning, last Friday, kicking off our Mother's Day weekend, and it was amazing. And one thing I realized hiking, though, too, was that people are really wonderful. Like when you're all in it together, like we're all on the mountain, we're all hiking, we don't know each other, but everyone's so encouraging and just so friendly. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I've just felt really good. And I started to think about the show and who we have on the show, and how can we help these charities that we have on the show get more money? What else can we do to contribute to them? Because having them on here gets them recognition, but I want to go bigger. And so I had this idea. What if Patricia and I went for a hike every Friday, and we created a page where people could go on and sponsor hikes, suggest hikes that we do and donate, and all proceeds of the donation, every mile we hike, will go to the charities that we have on the radio show. So I think it's a rock star idea, but you guys have to, donate to make it come to life. And so we're going to get a page going here in the next couple of weeks, and we're still going to hike this weekend or Friday morning. It's going to be a Friday morning thing. I don't know where yet, though. I got to do some Googling.
We got to get some hikes on the books and figure out some locations. We did Poo Poo Point. That was really fun, really amazing.
It was beautiful.
We went through, started with sun to rain to hail.
Yeah.
To more rain. Really bad rain when we got down, but you're in the trees, and so you don't even get that wet. It was pretty cool.
So beautiful. We're so lucky and blessed to live here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm just feeling really fortunate, and I want to see how we can make this turn into something bigger to help other people. So watch out. We're going to put that on the website. But on today's show, we have some fabulous guests we're really excited to be talking to, Pam and Chris McCain with McCain Property Partners, and they will be discussing what's hot in today's market. And then on the second half of today's show, we have Heather Fritts and Karen Hansen with Courage 360. Heather and Karen will be telling us about Courage 360 and how this organization is helping people in our local communities. To find out about any topics discussed or to learn more about guests we have in studio, you can find us online at www.financialfitnessnw.com.
Are you intimidated by the seller's market we're in and unsure how to secure a home in a multiple offer situation? The Riley Johnson team with Caliber Home Loans has helped hundreds of buyers successfully secure the property of their dreams, even in this challenging market. A pre-approval letter from the Riley Johnson team carries more weight because we have the reputation of closing loans quickly with our state-of-the-art technology known as the ultimate home buying experience. To learn more about our premier service and technology to help you secure the home of your dreams, contact us today at Riley Johnson Team at CaliberHomeLoans.com or visit our website at RileyJohnsonTeam.com. Sarah Riley, NMLS 18007, and Patricia Johnson, NMLS 583004. Caliber Home Loans Incorporated, NMLS ID number 15622. Copyright 2017, all rights reserved. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without prior notice. All products are subject to credit and property approval. Not all products are available in all states for all dollar amounts. Other restrictions and limitations apply.
For over 35 years, Courage 360, formerly Washington Women's Employment and Education, or WWEE, has been helping folks to achieve lasting change by giving them the tools they need to succeed. Educating low-income individuals, often women and parents, they can help them gain the skills, the knowledge, and the courage to be self-supporting. Courage 360's suite of supportive services is specifically designed to help individuals transition from dependence on public subsidies into a future of economic self-sufficiency. For example, last year, a client who entered Courage 360's Employment Services Program with an average monthly income of just $472 increased their earnings nearly 400% to $1,853 after successfully completing their transitional job training and gaining employment. For more information on Courage 360 programs or ways you can help us build stronger communities, please visit courage360.org or call 253-474-9933. Programs available in King and Pierce counties. Courage 360. If you've got the courage to turn your life around, we can help.
McCain Property Partners can be your one-stop shop to buy or sell your home. Invest wisely, move your parents, or build financial wealth. As licensed realtors with over 36 years experience in the King County area, from South Bellevue to Tacoma, they have the skill and experience needed to get your transaction done in this fast-paced and ever-changing market. For all your real estate needs, call McCain Property Partners at 253 253-569-5859. That's 253-569-5859.
Broaden your horizons. You'll be amazed at all the topics we cover on Alternative Talk 1150.
Thank you and welcome back. You're tuning into Financial Fitness Northwest live on 1150 KKNW, where we help you navigate the mortgage and real estate market with expert advice from knowledgeable and trustworthy industry professionals. Next on our show, we have Pam and Chris McCain, McCain Properties Partners, and they are licensed realtors with over 36 years of experience in the King County real estate market from South Bellevue to Tacoma. They assist real estate clients build wealth through strategic real estate purchases as well as places they love to live. Welcome, Pam and Chris.
Hello.
Thank you. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for having us this morning.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited because I want to hear how it, first off, just tell me about you guys being a, mother-son team or a mother-daughter team. How do you guys like working together, and how did that kind of transpire to being a team?
Well, I don't know how well you guys work together, but I mean, there's definitely times where it's really great, and then there's times where she just drives me crazy because she's my mom. And so, Pam's obviously been in the business a lot longer than I have. I'm just wrapping up my second year. So she holds down the majority of that 36-year experience because she's been in the business forever.
Right.
And we work really well together about 85% of the time.
Well, I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I mean, that would be true with anybody pretty much, right?
Any
Even
partner.
if you weren't related.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, something I noticed early on is my family has paid a big price for me to be in this business full-time, long-term.
Mm-hmm.
And both Chris and my daughter have been raised with real estate.
Right.
Been raised in the back seat of a car a lot of the time, delivering papers here or there. But they each have a natural interest in the business, which is really great. I mean, I don't think of any other parent that would rather have a business that they could hand over to their kids, and we could groom them along the way. The clients that I have, we've had relationships for a long time. They know my story, and so they welcome Chris and his expertise. Also, the business is changing. Old school is how I really operate. I call it high touch, lower tech. It's
I like
non-tech.
Yeah.
But people are really used to my high touch approach. But the millennial buyer doesn't need that, and so Chris is really good at that, keying in on the technology side and giving clients just what they need at the place that they're at. So
you guys like a perfect balance. Works well.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. And 85% is pretty great, really.
Yeah, I don't know about perfect balance, but there is a balance.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mom. You keep highlighting that 85%. It makes me wonder what percentage you feel we're at.
I don't know. I'm going to have to start keeping a ledger to figure out what our
great.
actual percentage is.
Let's not.
Funny. Well, anyway, so we want to talk about the market. So what do you guys see hot in this market?
Well, definitely. We all know that listings are selling right as they come off the market. Boy, if you're a first-time buyer, tough to compete, tough to be a buyer in this market. It's very, we have to work ever closer with our mortgage professionals. Sarah, I appreciate your input, and Patricia both, because we have to be creative to find ways that people can buy that don't follow the traditional norms. We need to provide a place where they don't always have to go with an FHA minimum down program, because they just don't look and feel like a competitive buyer to a seller who's evaluating 4 or 5 offers, a lot of times with people with a lot more down payment. So we really rely on our relationship a lot more now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It is a tough market right now. Are you seeing, because you guys generally are working more in like the Maple Valley, right, south end for the most part? Is that generally where you guys are at, or
I think that
spread out
we have had listings and sold properties in a lot of different areas.
Okay.
We want to work with whoever wants to work with us.
Because the markets are very different. I mean, if you're listing on the east side versus, Kent, Auburn, right? I mean, it is the escalation clauses and the buyers on the east side aren't necessarily your minimum down people. They might be first-time home buyers, but a lot of them work in the tech industry and they have some money because they got all those signing bonuses and they're making a pretty good living. And then down in the east side, the south side, it's a little bit different. It's competitive, but it's different competition, right? I mean, what are buyers up against there? I mean, is it escalating still?
Absolutely. We have escalating offers. We're dealing with cash offers just like they are on the east side. Not as often, but boy, if you can have a buyer who's more sophisticated that can come in and not require that we have an appraisal as a condition to their home purchase, waive an inspection, which I would never recommend actually to any buyer at any level. You know, if you have somebody with a lot of confidence and some cash behind them, tough to compete with a first-time buyer who is important to the process because we have to buy something first. And that first-time buyer for us turns into our second seller and buyer and our third-time seller and buyer. So getting those people involved in the market is very important, and it's good for them. It helps them start to build wealth sooner than later.
Yeah. So good, especially now with rents. You know, rents are just going through the roof, and in most cases you can afford to own a home for the same or less than you might be paying in rent, depending on where you're at.
That's really true. And what I found is, you know, first-time buyers nowadays, they really feel like they should walk into their dream home. And that just doesn't happen.
No.
And staying open-minded and having a good realtor partner coach is so important because we can help you strategize maybe to get into that moderate condo first, maybe to buy something you'd never considered living in, but keeping in mind you don't have to live there forever. You know, 3-4 years to build $50,000 equity, that's a reasonable trade.
Yeah, definitely.
And unfortunately, what we're seeing is we're just seeing people that are more concerned about filling the needs of their family over, having it be a great investment. You know what I mean? Especially when first-time home buyers, a lot of them, it's tough for them to grasp a hold of the fact that this isn't going to be their forever home. You know, this is going to be the stepping stone in which they're going to be able to level up, essentially. So everybody wants that, 3-bedroom, 1.5-bath Rambler for their first home for under $250,000, and it's just not happening.
Right.
So that's what we're seeing a ton of, and it's all about setting realistic expectations in the beginning. So that it's not our wish to kind of crush their dreams, but it's our job to present the market to them in a way that shows them hey, this is the market. This isn't us telling you that you can't fulfill your dream. This is just the state of the market, and it's our job to just kind of interpret the market for them.
Yeah, that's really good. I know when I bought my house in 2008, I don't even know. I think I might have looked at 50 or 60 homes, right? And you just got to pick what you wanted. So standards were really high. So because you just could have the world, really. And now, that's just not the case anymore. And I think it's really hard for first-time home buyers because it's a huge step for them. This investment's huge. So, I think that's really great, consulting them, right? Consultative approach. So, well, let's talk a little bit. I'm really excited about talking about Black Diamond, Pam, because you're they're the chairman of the Planning Commission out there, and there's big things going on in Black Diamond. So can you share with us what's happening, what's coming up?
Well, I certainly can, and very, very exciting. Everybody knows that we don't have enough housing supply. That's why people are lining up 6, 7, 8 people deep for the same home. We don't have enough housing supply. And the good news is that back in 1990, the Growth Management Act was passed, and it deliberately set the state up for growth in particular areas. And they did that on purpose because we can't load everyone on the east side. We can't have everybody live in Bothell. So the state evaluated their long-term goals and their transportation services and also wanting to reduce urban sprawl. And so they came up with the Growth Management Act that dictates each city in the county to take a certain amount of growth every single year. And it is Black Diamond's turn. We have lots of open space. It's been a quiet, sleepy town for many, many years. But, things change and exciting things are happening.
And so Black Diamond, for all of you that don't know it, is like the neighbor to Maple Valley. So Maple Valley is a very desirable place to live. Everybody's moving there, but it's getting, overgrown as well. And so, and sprawling out to Black Diamond, it's beautiful, and there's a lot of space there, and you're still in the feel of Maple Valley area. But they're doing a master plan community there, right?
Exactly. And a master plan community is the envy of all planners. I mean, any other city planner would love to have a grand plan that they could design not only housing, but they could design commercial space. They could design light industrial space, so we'd have some job opportunities local to the center to which the houses are being built, and plan for school sites and open space, all of that at one time, because everything works in a cohesive way. So that's what Black Diamond's going to be. It's the layout is very similar to Snoqualmie Ridge.
Okay. That's really nice.
So if we wanted to draw some parallels, it's very, very similar to that.
Yeah, that is so exciting because, like you say, I mean, they're kind of just have a clean slate, right? And they can do it all from scratch as opposed to something that's already been started, 10, 20 years ago, and then you're trying to fill in and make it that feel, but you really can't do it. But I think it sounds like you're going to be able to do that out there.
Well, and anybody who's had a youngster in sports in Kent, Covington, Maple Valley, there are very little play fields. There are very few play fields, very few places to actually get out and enjoy nature because they were never planned. Well, here in the city of Black Diamond, there's tons of open space. It's all trailed. Walkable cities is the tagline that's been used to describe how they want that city to be, where, you can come home from work, you can put your jogging shoes on, you can take the dog for a walk and go grab something for dinner. You can walk through town and go to the library. You can make a right-hand turn and go to the Black Diamond Bakery, have breakfast there. Lots of walkable city things, because people, as they'll be commuting back and forth, they're going to need that respite, a little bit of relaxation.
I want to live there.
Me
I'm
too.
excited.
Sign me up.
So coming from new construction, I love new construction, done lots of builder business over the years. So I assume there's probably a lot of builders that are going to be involved out there. Is that...
Well, there will be. The master developer has things just about ready to go. All the gross utilities are already installed. Very cool feature is we're going to have lots of electric car plug-ins.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Yeah, we don't have those things further south than Renton
No.
now. So that's very cutting edge. They're going higher tech than anywhere else with all of our internet services, which is really going to be cool. It is just going to be a dynamic place. And so Oak Point, who is the master developer there, CDC Partners, will be developing all the pieces and then selling them off to individual builders to have them take on 30, 50, 100 lots possibly at a time. The good news is there is a very strong development agreement that's in place that has a lot of architectural siding as to how the houses and communities are going to look.
Oh.
So we won't feel like we have a very modern 3-story property next door to a really moderate, like mining style home. The development agreement and the architectural codes are going to keep things really cohesive, like it looks like a blended development, though you will have the personal touch from lots of different builders.
Wow, that's so exciting. So when are these houses going to start to come to market?
I think that the first, it's going to be next spring is when they start construction on the first phase 1.
Okay.
And I think it's funny because I think we've all been to a city that hasn't been a master plan, a city that started with a Safeway and then they've, just built around it, like Maple Valley. It was
Covington, it's just a road.
Exactly. Yeah, it started with one store, one commercial space area, and then they just built around it. And you can really feel sometimes it was just very pieced together. But when you go to a Snoqualmie Ridge or a Redmond Town Center or something like that, it's just a neat area. And there's a lot of people from the east side that have moved out to Maple Valley. And like you said, Sarah, Maple Valley is just getting crowded and super expensive.
Yeah.
So we're excited to see just that great demographic move out to Black Diamond. Me and Pam are both Black Diamond residents. So for someone who's younger, who lives in Black Diamond, I'm excited to see some of those amenities that young people want to have out there.
and young families. It's going to really draw a lot of young families out there, and it's going to be somewhat affordable, right? And Black Diamond is King County still?
Correct.
Okay. And so is that the Kent School District or Maple Valley School District?
Actually, it's a little bit of both. It's a really strange intersection of, we have parts of the Tahoma School District, but right up against our northern boundary, we have the Enumclaw School District, which is the most of Black Diamond is part of that. But on the western side, it's a Kent School District. So we have a little bit of everything out there. The real plus is the Enumclaw School District hasn't had a lot of growth because there's been a building moratorium out in Enumclaw for the last 10 years.
Okay.
Well, this is going to bring on, with 6 new school sites, it's going to infuse a lot of energy into the Enumclaw School District, and that should be exciting for people who live in Enumclaw.
Right. Wow, it's going to do a lot for that area.
Yeah, that's amazing, like you say, for young families. And I was just thinking when you were talking about the walkability, and you always see that, like when you look on Zillow at homes, like they have that walkability, but most homes don't really have anything in there, right? But with people and spending so much time commuting, how great would it be to just go home on Friday, park your car, and you don't get it out of the garage until Monday morning again because you have everything right around you?
It would be lovely.
Well, that's the real draw. And the interface between the city of Black Diamond and all of our rural spaces, you're 45 minutes to Crystal Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
You're 50 minutes to Snoqualmie. The skiing, the hiking, we have a 40-acre bike trail. There's lots of things, and it's also going to be interfacing with that Cedar River Trail system. The county's expanding the trail services there, so everything will come together once that piece of Black Diamond is in place.
And you guys will be the experts out there. So if you want to move out to the Maple Valley Black Diamond area, you got to reach out to you guys, Pam and Chris McCain.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys. That's some really exciting information, and can't wait to see that come online. Thank you for tuning in to Financial Fitness Northwest. When we come back from the break, we will be talking with Heather Fritts and Karen Hansen on the show, teaching us about Courage 360, whose mission is to help disadvantaged people realize the dream of financial independence. To find out more about topics discussed on today's show, you can find us online at www.financialfitnessnw.com.
McCain Property Partners can be your one-stop shop to buy or sell your home. Invest wisely, move your parents, or build financial wealth. As licensed realtors with over 36 years experience in the King County area, from South Bellevue to Tacoma, they have the skill and experience needed to get your transaction done in this fast-paced and ever-changing market. For all your real estate needs, call McCain Property Partners at 253-569-5859. That's 253-569-5859. Are you intimidated by the seller's market we're in and unsure how to secure a home in a multiple offer situation? The Riley Johnson team with Caliber Home Loans has helped hundreds of buyers successfully secure the property of their dreams, even in this challenging market. A pre-approval letter from the Riley Johnson team carries more weight because we have the reputation of closing loans quickly with our state-of-the-art technology known as the ultimate home buying experience. To learn more about our premier service and technology to help you secure the home of your dreams, contact us today at Riley Johnson Team at CaliberHomeLoans.com or visit our website at RileyJohnsonTeam.com. Sarah Riley, NMLS 18007, and Patricia Johnson, NMLS 583004. Caliber Home Loans Incorporated, NMLS ID number 15622. Copyright 2017, all rights reserved. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without prior notice. All products are subject to credit and property approval. Not all products are available in all states for all dollar amounts. Other restrictions and limitations apply.
For over 35 years, Courage 360, formerly Washington Women's Employment and Education, or WWEE, has been helping folks to achieve lasting change by giving them the tools they need to succeed. Educating low-income individuals, often women and parents, they can help them gain the skills, the knowledge, and the courage to be self-supporting. Courage 360's suite of supportive services is specifically designed to help individuals transition from dependence on public subsidies into a future of economic self-sufficiency. For example, last year, a client who entered Courage 360's Employment Services Program with an average monthly income of just $472 increased their earnings nearly 400% to $1,853 after successfully completing their transitional job training and gaining employment. For more information on Courage 360 programs or ways you can help us build stronger communities, please visit courage360.org or call 253-474-9933. Programs available in King and Pierce counties. Courage 360. If you've got the courage to turn your life around, we can help.
Get your daily dose of variety. Alternative Talk 1150.
All right, well, you're tuning in to Financial Fitness Northwest live on 1150 KKNW. We provide our listeners with information from business professionals to bring solutions to your daily life and local charities to provide you with the opportunities to give back to your community as well. Now in studio, we have Heather Fritts and Karen Hansen. Heather joined Courage 360 in 2016 as Chief Executive Officer. She most recently served as the Executive Director of the Renton Technical College Foundation. Heather has over 20 years of leadership experience in the nonprofit and
philanthropic.
Thank you, Fields. She firmly believes that with the right combination of strategy, passion, and leadership, the potential for nonprofits to create a brighter future for people in their community is unlimited. Heather holds a bachelor's degree in human services from Western Washington University and a master's degree in nonprofit management from Seattle University. Karen Hansen is the president of Wyman Associates, working with individuals and businesses to help protect their investments, business and family interests. She is very active in the community, serving on several boards for well-known nonprofit organizations, and Karen is the upcoming board president of Courage 360. Well, welcome.
Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're really excited to learn about Courage 360.
Yes.
So kind of give us like how it got started and
Sure.
yeah.
So back in 1982, 4 women who were friends and living in the same neighborhood, they were wives of Weyerhaeuser and Boeing executives, had watched a show that there was a nun back in Texas who had started a program that was workforce development, and it centered on supporting women who were on state support, getting trained to be able to get into the workforce and be self-supportive. And they looked at each other and said, hey, we can use that here. We have a lot of women on welfare. So they started what was Washington Women's Employment and Education, and then 3 decades later, it became Courage 360 when we were doing a branding exercise just to, at that time, strengthen the brand. And what came out of that was that the name Washington Women's Employment and Education was a little bit prohibitive of men receiving our services. And the strong word that came out of everybody's feedback was courage, that it wasn't about learning the skills and the traits. It was about the courage that was reinstilled, because often they say it's not that I didn't have it, it's that you found it within me again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So the name became Courage 360.
I love that.
I do too.
It takes a lot of courage to start over, right? So
Yes.
that's so pointed to what you guys do.
So can you share with us, who's the typical Courage 360 client? Someone that's receiving services from you guys.
Sure. So our average client is a single mom, age 34 to 36. We serve on a typical year, 94% of our participants are women.
Okay.
And we have a large portion of people of color, of people who have no high school education beyond high school.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals who have lived in generations of poverty. So it's typically the families that for generation after generation have been living in the same state of being dependent on welfare.
Wow.
That's awesome. So you guys are there to break the cycle.
We are.
And so how do you do that? What type of programs do you offer to the people?
So our programs are based on a three-legged model, and so that evolves around an assessment and access to income supports. So, for example, if an individual comes in, they're screened to see if they are already receiving benefits that they qualify for. If they aren't and they qualify for them, we give them that access. So, for example, if they qualify for BFET, which is our food stamp program in the state of Washington, or if they qualify for transportation support or childcare support by being on welfare or TANF. We also give access, moving forward, we'll be giving access to things like the earned income tax credit through United Way's free tax preparation sites, et cetera.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And then the second leg is the employment services. And employment services evolves around our 5-week program, which is called Successful Pathways. Many people know it as REACH. REACH Plus was our program when we were and then this last year we did a lot of studying on the strengths and the weaknesses and the opportunities for our program. And we learned that a full week, 35-hour-a-week class was really hard for our participants to take. It didn't allow for life to happen on the side. So we evolved to a hybrid format, and that is where participants spend 3 hours a day in class with instructor-guided instruction, and then they do 3 hours of independent studies. We also do our employment services, which is helping the participant guide their path once they've graduated the class. So that might be helping them access college, or it might be providing an internship for them, or helping them get into that first job.
So you guys help place them in jobs?
We help place them. We have various partners that we work with that provide either internships or employment, and we're always looking for more partners to partner with us to build that pathway into employment.
Wow.
And then the last leg is what ties nicely into this program is our financial side. So we do financial counseling and financial literacy, and that wraps around every part of the program that they're engaged with.
Wow. So how do people find you guys? How do these women find you?
So they come a variety of ways. They will either come through referrals from their DSHS caseworker.
Okay.
They will come from referrals from former students. So our participants will often tell somebody else about the program that they're in or the program that they went through. And then just word of mouth, from people. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So
and other agencies, I should say, as well.
Okay.
We have a lot of referrals from other agencies.
Okay.
How long? So it's pretty structured, right? So when someone comes in, there's a very specific structure they go through. How long is the program last, or is that dependent on the situation of the individual?
It's very dependent on the situation. So when someone comes in, that first step of assessing them, we find out what program that we offer is best for them. So it might be that 5-week education program. It might be, they might come to us already referred into our internship program, which is a partnership through other agencies as well as the Department of Commerce to carry out the community jobs program. Or it might be that they really need support around homelessness. And so depending on what their urgent need is, that defines what program they come into first. And then what happens very naturally for our participants is that they evolve from one program to the next. Mm-hmm. So they might come in thinking that the curriculum is what they were interested in, but they might really be struggling with homelessness. So they might receive our services on that end instead, and then go into the Successful Pathways program, which might lead them into the community jobs program with internships, and then on to a position in an agency.
So what is your program for homeless women? And what do you guys provide, shelter or?
So we have been, in the past, we've been rapid rehousing provider. And so that's been through the city and the county contracts that we carry. And that's where individuals are referred to us through they have to be referred into us.
Okay.
And then we work with them to place them into housing units, and we support them with their moving costs, their monthly rents, et cetera.
Oh, okay.
The other program that we have is Family Permanency, and that's a 10-year program that's coming to an end. It was funded by a 10-year grant from the Gates Foundation. And on that side, we work just with individuals that are, that are placed in one of 15 units that we manage, and we provide the case management for that side. So that work we hope to continue. We hope to work with funders to provide the ability for us to continue working with women and families who are homeless, to provide the case management. Because once they're housed, that's the number one issue. If we can't get them housed, success for them is very minimal.
Yeah.
So if we can work with them once they're housed, then we can support them in learning the behavioral habits that can really advance their lives.
Yeah, I would think that would be absolutely critical. I mean, it's pretty hard. If you don't, it's kind of like you don't have any foundation to build on. You need to have a stable place to live, and then you can kind of build from there.
Yep.
So as far as all of these different skills that you're teaching them, who is teaching them? Is this volunteers that come in, or how does that work?
So we have a core staff. We have instructors who are the key leads on all of our instruction programs. And then we also work with interns and volunteers as well that support the programs. But the design of the curriculum and the delivery of curriculum is from our staff.
Wow. This is a really amazing program. Are you just rely on grants or donations? How do you guys get funding for this?
So we get funding through a variety of ways. Our our contracts are funded. We have about 5 contracts that are funded either from city, county, state funding, trickling down from federal funding sometimes, or from our local and regional foundations that support either a program that we're delivering or what every nonprofit dreams is that they'll support either capacity or general operating. And then we have our base of donors who contribute, and they contribute time. I always say time, treasure, and talent, because they do monetary donations. They also give of their time and their expertise and their knowledge.
Wow.
Well, I was really fortunate enough to be able to attend your fundraising brunch or breakfast that you had, and it was so amazing. And the stories, I mean, having the panel of women that you had there that told their stories was just, it was really so heart-wrenching and so wonderful to see where they were and how they have progressed. So do you have any really inspiring story you could tell us about somebody?
I think that my most inspiring story was who you got to hear at the breakfast. Her name was Violet. And this was about 6 months into my work with the agency. So I had originally come on board as an interim executive director to do an assessment. And it wasn't long after they offered me the permanent position as CEO that I met Violet. She had come in to volunteer to be a mentor for our current students. She had been a former student, one of our alums. And she was sharing her story, unbeknownst to me at the time, for the very first time she'd ever shared it. And she talked about being a survivor of domestic violence, and that she had come to our program through a referral of a friend. She was living in a women's shelter and fleeing from her abusive relationship that she was in. And she didn't think that she qualified for our program. She had been former military. She had been an engineer. She had been a manager. She was a singer in a band. She was in a church. She had all of these things that had one time in her life been going really well. And at this moment in time, she had fled a horrible relationship. She had found herself in jail where she asked to remain for 3 days instead of going home.
Oh, my gosh.
And then she found her way back into the shelter, referred to our program. She went through 4 weeks of it. She was found, and she had to flee again and go into hiding and protection. And she went through one more 5-week program, or one 5-week program went on, and then she came back and took the entire 5 weeks again, even though she'd gone through 4, and she graduated. And then she went on to, for us, it was the first time we had what was called a live resume, and it's where you have to go and present yourself in 60 seconds in a fishbowl, so to a room of employers sitting all around the exterior.
Oh, my gosh.
And she presented herself. She had 3 people who approached her to interview, and within a week or 2, she was hired as the secretary to the president of that engineering company, and she just celebrated her 4th year.
Wow.
And so I asked her, I said, how did you get that encouragement? What drove you to do that? And she pointed to the table and she said, right here. It was right here at Courage 360. And that's when I started to cry. And I looked at her and I said, I can't believe that's where it all came from. And she goes, it was here. It's like a family being here. Oh. And so that was just, that's my favorite story of all of the stories we
Makes
have.
it all worth it, right? You just feel like that's why we do this. So, Karen, you are the up-and-coming president of the board. What is that role going to mean for you?
It means that I'm highly active and suddenly I have a lot more responsibility.
Yeah. Because you've been on the board for a number of years already, right?
I have, for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And so while I've been on a number of committees and whatever, now I get to work in tandem with Heather to make sure that we're continue to go in the right direction and are relevant to the community we serve. Obviously, we're making some changes in how we deliver the program and going to the client as opposed to having them come to us. And we need to continue to be able to make that happen. So the creativity that's happening with the staff and through Heather's direction is, I think, going to continue to make us relevant in the community we serve.
That's great. So are there any new things coming up that you can share with us?
I think I'll give that to Heather because she's got the handle on it and it's all in her head.
Oh, it's in her head. Oh, Heather.
It's in my head, but the board is right there with me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We do support.
So what has occurred over the past year with Courage 360 is really looking at what we do really well and what we can strengthen and shift a little bit to do it even better. And so the big overarching shift for Courage 360 is that we're really looking at how we can, instead of having people come to us by being a site-based agency, how can we sort of take ourselves and plant ourselves into the community all over the place? So I think of it as planting seeds and blossoming up. Mm-hmm. What we're doing is partnering with colleges, with other agencies and other entities to where we can deliver our services right on site for them. So we're working towards moving away from our 2 standard locations in Kent and Tacoma and instead being on site for colleges such as Tacoma Community College. Will be opening up a program July 10th.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm. And then we just opened up our first Center for Strong Families about last August. United Way of Pierce County invited us to apply to become a center, and we applied to be a center at our main office, and then I think it was within a month they asked us to consider piloting 2 other centers that they're considering. So we just opened up our first pilot out at Bethel Family Support Center, and that's in coordination with United Way and with the Bethel School District. And there's a audience of about 1,700 participants that go through that family center for services such as visiting nurse or WIC and other programs that we will now have access to deliver our programs with our employment and financial coaching. And we do the financial coaching in collaboration with Sound Outreach to really help these families grow their assets. The motto of United Way is to earn it, keep it, and grow it. And so that's what our programs are going to be doing.
Oh my gosh, that's so fantastic. We're so glad to have you guys here to share with us about Courage 360. Thank you so much for tuning into our show, Financial Fitness Northwest. When we come back, we're going to have the Riley Johnson Team Market Update. Today, we're going to discuss if you're getting ready to sell your home, are you considering if it's pet friendly for all our fur lovers out there? To find out about any topics discussed on today's show, you can find us online at www.financialfitnessnw.com.
For over 35 years, Courage 360, formerly Washington Women's Employment and Education, or WWEE, has been helping folks to achieve lasting change by giving them the tools they need to succeed. Educating low-income individuals, often women and parents, they can help them gain the skills, the knowledge, and the courage to be self-supporting. Courage 360's suite of supportive services is specifically designed to help individuals transition from dependence on public subsidies into a future of economic economic self-sufficiency. For example, last year, a client who entered Courage 360's Employment Services program with an average monthly income of just $472 increased their earnings nearly 400% to $1,853 after successfully completing their transitional job training and gaining employment. For more information on Courage 360 programs or ways you can help us build stronger communities, please visit courage360.org or call 253-474-9933. Programs available in King and Pierce counties. Courage 360. If you've got the courage to turn your life around, we can help.
McCain Property Partners can be your one-stop shop to buy or sell your home. Invest wisely, move your parents, or build financial wealth. As licensed realtors with over 36 years experience in the King County area, from South Bellevue to Tacoma, they have the skill and experience needed to get your transaction done in this fast-paced and ever-changing market. For all your real estate needs, call McCain Property Partners at 253-569-5859. That's 253-569-5859. Are you intimidated by the seller's market we're in and unsure how to secure a home in a multiple offer situation? The Riley Johnson team with Caliber Home Loans has helped hundreds of buyers successfully secure the property of their dreams, even in this challenging market. A pre-approval letter from the Riley Johnson team carries more weight because we have the reputation of closing loans quickly with our state-of-the-art technology known as the ultimate home buying experience. To learn more about our premier service and technology to help you secure the home of your dreams, contact us today at Riley Johnson Team at CaliberHomeLoans.com or visit our website at RileyJohnsonTeam.com. Sarah Riley, NMLS 18007, and Patricia Johnson, NMLS 583004. Caliber Home Loans Incorporated, NMLS ID number 15622. Copyright 2017, all rights reserved. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will qualify. Information, rates, and programs are subject to change without prior notice. All products are subject to credit and property approval. Not all products are available in all states for all dollar amounts. Other restrictions and limitations apply.
Alternative Talk 1150. Local talk for the body, mind, and soul.
Welcome back to Financial Fitness Northwest live on 1150 KKNW. It's now time for the Riley Johnson Team Market Update. We are dedicated to provide the tools you need to make informed decisions on how today's events in our local economy can affect your buying power. And today we're talking about the important subject of a pet-friendly listing.
Yeah, your fur baby. I mean, this is a big thing, I guess. I know I have my own fur baby, but people are really considering if their house is pet-friendly when their buyers are, when they're out looking at homes. So I thought we should talk about it a little bit and what you should be considering when you're listing your property.
Absolutely.
Right? It's
I know.
important.
It is important because it's so important that you should know and maybe not be surprised that people spend $66.75 billion on their pets in the U.S. in 2016, and it's going up to like $70 billion in 2017. That's a lot of money for a pet.
Well, people take their animals very, very seriously. So let's talk about what that means when you're trying to sell your house. Apparently, 99% of pet owners say that they consider their animals to be family. And when finding a home, 95 animal owners believe that it's important that the housing community allows for animals and that the home is pet friendly.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean, it's so important. So I guess one other note, if you're selling your home, though, you don't want your home to smell like your pet. You would want it to be fresh and clean smelling for the next pet to come in and make their mark, right?
Right. It should be a pretty pet home. So some of the things that homeowners are looking for to be considered pet friendly, I mean, I feel like we all think these are important, but these will literally deter them from purchasing a home, is if there is a fully fenced backyard. That's important, the biggest, most important. Also, if your location was within dog parks, trails, pet-friendly beaches. And then the proximity to veterans and groomers. I'm reading this list and I'm thinking, my house is set. I'm ready to sell. I got all this.
You mean veterinarians?
What'd I say?
Veterans.
Oh, yeah, veterinarians and groomers.
But if there is a vet close by, a veteran, that's also lovely because
Well,
we
veterans
love our
like-
veterans.
And they like animals, too.
And they do like animals.
Yeah.
Yes. So some other things going on with pets as far as new construction goes is builders are actually building. This would be in a probably $1 million+ home, but I do know of new construction where they're actually building in a dog bath in the mudroom, so you don't have to take your dog to Soggy Doggy anymore. You got your own little pet spa right in your mudroom, so it's perfect.
I kind of don't want that. I don't think, because why would you want to? That's a lot of mess. If you take your dog to Soggy Doggy.
Well, yeah, but if maybe you have a maid that cleans it up when you're done washing your dog.
Well, I guess if you're like a multi-million-dollar house, and you probably do. Well, the other things that they're building in new construction is, those cute little tucked away doggy doors and stuff that, are very
designer
friendly. Yeah, architecturally. I don't know. I'm having a hard time talking on the radio today.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, that's okay because the show's over. So thank you so much for tuning into Financial Fitness Northwest. We hope you found the information valuable. To learn about anything on our show or our guests that we had in studio, you can find us online. Please go online and check out Courage 360 and Pam and Chris McCain. Thanks so much, you guys.
Thanks
Talk
for
to you
tuning
next
in.
week.
See you next week.